We're in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Isupk. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel. We're in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Isupk. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible, because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and Sixth Shield General, 4th in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother. Macho. Barak. Yeshabium, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to Priest General Lahab.
Water, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
Shalom, Israel. It's time to come get your full dose of truth for the week. You got Mondays, history class, taught by Officer 500 Shariwan and Officer 500 Ahabawan. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, you got Word to the Unwise podcast from 6 to 7 p.m. Followed by the main event, Captain and Priest Hadaryah teaching scripture breakdown, the Bible like you never heard it before. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Wednesday, we got Priest and Officer 1000 Awaja teaching you all about the law. Tune in. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, you got myself, Priest and Officer of 5,000 Kazak Moth, joined by Priest and Officer of 500 Barak Yah, teaching you the Brotherhood class from 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, learn to speak in the Holy Tongue, the Lashawan Qadash class, taught by Officer of 1,000 Qatar, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the Isupk like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the Isupk. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
Mic check, mic check. This new setup. Shout out. Same old mics. Shout out to the brother at Tazarot. But again, this is Priest and Officer of 1,000 Guitar at Isupk Detroit. And this is your Friday's Lashawan Qadash class where we give the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians back a part of their culture by giving them the true language their ancestors spoke, what God deemed for his children, and that we will all speak one day, Most High in Christ. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Salakia for the departure and being gone so long. Hey, chill. But with that being said, we're going to start back, get back with the basics, go over the alphabet first. Since we got some people in the class, I'm going to have some participants, Most High in Christ, and we're going to get this language under control. We're going to get this part of our culture back under our belt. So as we communicate and as we read through the Bible and as we conduct our Sabbath service, we'll be that more in tune and in depth to do so adequately. So with that being said, the first character of the alphabet is going to be the character A. And if you're new to the class, what we do know is that in English, you would read from right to left. And in Hebrew, you would go from Salakia from left to right, but from Hebrew, you would go from right to left. So we're just going to draw a little arrow that way. And we're going to draw a little arrow that way, and we're just going to do that. So y'all, it's a little telltale sign. This is why I'm good with that. I think we should ask the chat. Lashawan, does that look better on the screen?
Kind of kind. Yeah, I can see it better with whatever y'all just dimmed.
Turned off the light. All right. That's what we gonna rock with.
And Salakia, Hadawab in the chat is saying it's small. The writing is small.
Yeah, I just erased it because of that purpose. The water, brother. All right, so the first character is I. I'm gonna write it really big. Is that Tawab? We got that? Second character, Ba. Who knows the third character? Somebody help me out. Ga. All right, I think it's written like that. What's the next character? Uh-oh, Carr said it's a Da. We got the Da. Next character.
Ha.
You sure?
Ka.
All right. Next character.
Wa.
All right. Why? Go ahead.
Za.
Za.
Kha.
Kha.
Ta.
Ta. I think that one looked like the X-Men symbol, right?
Ya.
You said yeah.
Ka.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ka.
Wait.
Ya.
Wait. I think I messed that up.
Oh, what is it?
I think that's in Assyrian.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. All right. Get it together. There we go. All right. What's next?
Ka.
All right. Next.
La.
Go ahead.
Ma.
Go ahead.
Na. Sa. Abagadaha. Kataya.
All right. I'm going to cheat. Oh, yeah.
I was right?
Sa. You're right. He was right. Go ahead.
Sa. Pa.
Pa. I. Yep. That sounded about right.
Taza.
Taza.
Kwa. Sa-I. Sa-I. Pa. Okay.
Yeah, Sa-I. Pa. All right. Oh.
I got it mixed up.
Oh, did you? I think that's right. Oh.
It's I pa Tazo Kwa.
Kwa was next.
Ra. Sha.
You said Ra?
Sha. And Tha. And Salaki, sir, you know, just for the people that's watching, that was all off memory.
Multi.
Brother did it. He wanted to make it. No, that was all off of memory. He didn't look at the cheat sheet. I was going over there looking at the cheat sheet just to make sure I had it right. So get that brother a hand.
He really taught me how to break it
down. Next up, so what we're going to do is write out the pronunciation of it. So we said it out loud, and usually the best way to learn it is to say it, write it, and read it. That way you can get it kind of in your head 3 different ways. So as you're saying it and writing, you can say I, write it out, and then write out what the pronunciation would be. I, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, qua, ra, sha, and tha. So that's something real simple. The heavy part, or one of the best things about learning this language, is it stays consistent across the pronunciation throughout, I would say 99% of the words that you're going to come across. So like you'll have words in English like record that's spelled R-E-C-O-R-D, but then if you're talking about a record player, then it's spelled the same, but it's pronounced differently. Like each letter can be pronounced differently in English, whether it's a E, A, or whatever vowels they're using. But in Hebrew, there's only one vowel that we use predominantly outside of I. But you have that I, which is not necessarily a written in stone that that's what it is. The understanding, or that A, is just trying to give you the understanding of how you would pronounce the breath. So it's not necessarily like AH makes ah. That's kind of what we came up with, or the linguists came up with when they're trying to, or describe the pronunciation of ah. It's kind of like you're letting out a breath. So it's not just BA makes ba, it's the sound that it makes, if that kind of makes sense. When you get into the more modern Hebrew or the Assyrian Hebrew, now they use different vowels, they have a different twang on things, but we keep it consistent across the pronunciation. So though the characters may be different, definitely, when you look up the interlinear and you go into your Blue Letter Bible and you're looking at how they write out what the pronunciation is, it might say Jehovah or something like that. We keep the pronunciation the same, though it's scripted differently in the modern Hebrew. So it's ancient Hebrew. If you go back and you do any research, they will tell you that the earliest languages didn't have vowels. So that A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y that they teach you in school, that was something created as languages developed over time, as languages changed. People move, dialects changed, and to make certain things unique, maybe to their culture, or to maybe bridge the gap between understandings and pronunciation, they decided to start adding vowels. But with that being said, since that brother Ka'ar was so courageous, I'm going to ask him to do the next step. Yeah. That next step is that good old Assyrian. So on the board, yeah. He said, you want me to write it? Yeah. And if you need a cheat sheet, there's one provided. Now, this is something that is definitely going to come in handy. I remember when I first started preparing to teach this class, I'm watching other brothers' classes. They always said, as you're learning, just learn both at the same time. You know, in my head, it's just like, I get it, but I didn't want to overwhelm myself. But it's definitely a lot easier kind of learning both at the same time. So if you can write out the first one, write out the second one, right underneath the first one. Well, you can make it a little bit bigger. Right, right. We'll switch it up for the light the next class. We'll do what we got to do. Go ahead. Right, he's writing the Assyrian now. So pretty much as our oppressors do, they take stuff that don't belong to them and they bastardize it. So this is what they call Assyrian or modern Hebrew. So they added vowel structure to pronounce different words, I guess, if you want to, pronounce words in an updated form, if you want to word it that way. If you look in pretty much any updated or you type in Hebrew online, 9 times out of 10, that's the script that you're going to get. You're not going to find too much of the ancient Hebrew. Yeah. Okay.
And that's what's so heavy about the Isupk and the 7 heads, because they resurrected this ancient language in the libraries, breaking this down. So what we doing here, the Hebrew class that some brothers may neglect. This is our culture being resurrected, our language being resurrected. So it's heavy that brothers get in here and really learn this. Just imagine, Matt, I always think about it like when if stuff hit, when stuff hit the fan, we able to communicate with brothers in a way that don't nobody else know. I remember Lashawan saying how him and his rib is in front of these oppressors just communicating with each other. They don't know what they saying. You know what I mean? So
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and if I could add as well, I remember one time being downtown, getting into a battle with a brother, and he started bringing up the Hebrew in the Old Testament, and he went into how he's like, well, what the Christians taught about, God created everything by himself is wrong, because in the Hebrew, there's a mem at the end of Elohim. And when he said it, I knew exactly what he was talking about because of the Hebrew classes. Because, under Commanding General Yohana, they teach us the plural. So as soon as he said it, I knew what he was talking about. And had I not known what he was talking about, he would have cut me to piss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So even just being a priest, there's going to be times where you get into a battle, and if you don't know this Hebrew, it could affect you. You know what I mean? We don't necessarily have to be, so proficient in it, because we have the King James Version Bible translated for us. You know what I mean? But it definitely helps our office as priests, being able to, at least be able to, see the translations and, understand the basics of the Hebrew. Salakia.
All heavy points. The more I got into Hebrew, I know, it's commonly said that it's kind of a barbaric or archaic language or brutish language. But the more I understand it, the more I see it to be as we speak in Ebonics today. Because we all know that a lot of times you have words that mean other things or can be used to mean other things. And it's no different than in the Hebrew. You know, you have one word that has multiple definitions, but when it comes down to it, the context of that, what it's or how it's being used, supersedes the etymology of the word. And that's one of the things that is so heavy about us bringing back, or the generals bringing back and resurrecting this language, is because it's so easy for us to pick it back up. It's really not a hard thing to do, because the more we understand that the Bible is written by us and by men who have the same spirit or characteristics, as in from, the national part of it, it's more of a sense of, oh, I get what he's talking about when it says all the stars of heaven is gonna fall to the earth. It's not talking about literal stars, but we call people today stars. So it's an understanding that we have and that we share in connection with the book that helps us better speak it, better understand it. So when we have this knowledge, we can no longer look to the oppressor and say, oh man, we got to go to him for the understanding. Oh, just because he has a small hat and a long beard, he must be he must have the understanding. They've been over there in that land for how long? He must be right. When no, that is not the case. Yeah, that brother is doing an excellent job on that board. It's a little difficult when you got to write it out. Oh no, this is how I learned. I had notebooks of my classes written out just so I could be able to, all right, let me just look and write it on the board. Oh, that was LeBron that wrote that. They had that calligraphy pen, or that them brushes, markers with the little, yeah. Well, technically, you don't have to. Yep. Oh, so the brother said he would like to. Time. Most High in Christ. Should work at least. So as you see, the brother's writing out the pronunciation of it, and it's gonna be the exact same. But now that he's back at the board, he can also identify the 5 characters in the modern Hebrew that have an alternate ending. And that's going to be important, because you can be reading that scroll or reading in you open up your blue letter Bible and you got to read that interlinear, the Hebrew. You'll see a few characters and you might think they're da or ra, but it might not be it. But it's good to know. And I believe in the ancient Hebrew, there's one character, that's the ka, that you might see wrote differently. Kind of looks like somebody throwing up the west side, or 3 fingers to the, or a Y with a extra line in the middle. I mean, that's going to be everybody homework. It happens from time to time. You might get a tour that has a page missing out of it, and then you got to improvise and pull out your phone and read that Assyrian. And then, you realize, oh, I got to practice. Oh, yep. So right now he's identifying the alternate endings. Mm-hmm. You talking about as far as the alternate endings? What you talking about these and this? Nah, that's just a different way somebody wrote it. And I'll talk about that. So if you got, and matter of fact, I'll show you. So if y'all pull out those individuals online, your blue or open up your Blue Letter Bible app, it's going to be important to kind of get a grasp just on the alphabet and the alternate endings, because you'll see that the actual script is different just due to penmanship. So you see, that's the script that you'll see online a lot of the times. I see yep. And then another person might write it physically this way. And then another person might write it physically how it's on the wall. But the characters are very similar. You see what I'm saying? They're just, it's just like, writing the American alphabet. Some people E's look like threes, it's just how they pen it. So looking at the alternate endings and then the regular characters, so the die looks like this. I'm going to just put an asterisk by it. Now look at this ka. Now look at this ra. Those are characters that look very similar. You might even kind of look at the Y at a glance and be like, and then look at the ma on this one and the sa on this one. These kind of look similar. So it's important that if you see this at the end of the word, be sure that it's not a sa and it's a ma. Or be sure it's not a ra and it's really a da. Because that ra and that da looks very similar. I thought it was one more, but we'll just go with those. But when you read, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then that's why Barakataya Howard Shah is because we're taking our language and culture back. Like when everything is changed back to the way it should be, we're not gonna have to worry about that anymore, the bastardization of our own culture anymore. It's funny how they get over on us time and time again, and they have it programmed in our heads that now we have to seek them, or now they're the officials, the authority on everything our culture. And it's a fight to be able to talk to our own people sometimes and convince them that, hey, they lied to y'all. We did the research. Go Google it for yourself. Go chat GPT it. Go hit a library if there's any of those still standing. Y'all better do it quick and see it for yourself, because everything now is going to be questionable because of the digital era. Oh man, they might have changed it. Brothers already saying that. But what if they changed something in the Bible? Well, when they translated it differently. Okay, read the Hebrew. Read it in the Hebrew. What does it say in the Hebrew? That's the importance of the class, because they can always tell you, oh, when you have the NIV, the the NSB, the ESV, all of the different translations, the Woman Thou Art Loose Bible, and the King James, the John MacArthur Study Bible. You got all of these different translations of Bibles, and you won't get the full understanding until you go to that interlinear and you look at the Hebrew and see how the Hebrew was, how it was written in the Hebrew. So it's very important. And one of the things is called hermeneutics, is Christians say that they practice, but they don't, is to understand how the culture at that time used that particular word or how it was understood in that culture. So as we know, virgin today in American or Western culture is a woman that doesn't, a female that hasn't had intercourse. But in Hebrew culture, the word virgin just means a young woman of marriageable age. So we have to understand that there's meaning, the meaning of certain words and the uses of certain words can be different based off of the culture that was used. So knowing the culture is important. That's why it's important to understand that if you are a so-called Black, Latino, Native American Indian on your father's side, you would identify to be one of the 12 tribes of Israel. And that culture belongs to you. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over something that is just as important as you can say the alphabet when I guess it comes to understanding the Hebrew and reading the Hebrew and so forth. We're going to go into your subject pronouns, possessive adjectives, and prepositions. Subject pronoun, possessive adjectives, and prepositions. Preposition, you can understand it as preposition. In the word or on the word, just you'll see that it's going to sit before the word. Your possessive adjectives or your suffix is going to sit after that word or at the back of the word. And then you have your subject pronouns. All right, so I'm going to put up the subject pronouns first. And then we're going to get some class participation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm either going to write out the Hebrew character or the pronunciation of it, and you guys write the character and or the pronunciation and or the Assyrian, one or the other. So the subject pronouns will be I, you, so the subject pronouns, I, you, he, she, we, y'all, and it's going to be two y'alls and two theys. One is going to be a masculine and one is going to be a feminine. I guess I'll write it both out twice. I was trying to save some pen ink or whatever. So you have your masculine and your feminine. So a thigh is how you would say I in the Hebrew. I, thigh. So like your anya, I'm tripping. An, ya. You is a thigh. Thigh. He is hawa. ha, wa, ah. She is ha, ya, ah. We is ah, nak, no, wa. Thumb, thon, hum, and hum. All right, so from the top again, you have your subject pronouns, you have your I, you, he, she, we, y'all, your masculine, y'all, your feminine, they masculine, and they feminine. In the Hebrew, you have anya, atha, hawa'a, haya'a, anak noah, nak noah, yeah, anak noah, a thumb, a thon, hum, and han. So now what you have to do, using the alphabet, is write out, and I'm gonna let y'all start with the Assyrian. I mean the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew. Write out the ancient Hebrew of those words, and then I'm gonna follow it up with the Assyrian. I'm gonna get my practice in too. Now remember, when you're writing it out, you write from right to left. Yep. Right. So the brother just asked for a perfect question. He said, I see the I, meaning this, but I don't see the N by itself. That is an excellent question. I'm excited because it gives me an opportunity to teach, and I feel like I learned something and I get to share it. But no, it's something I definitely should have and should cover. But so you have I'm gonna write it over here for briefly. So you have your and then you have your na. Two separate words, and na. When you connect two words together, you drop the last a, if that makes sense. So instead of na, it'll just be on when you put them together and just dropping the a. So, and it's going to be more examples of that. So my name is Qadash. So the Cha, that's it by itself. Then you have the Ta and the Ba, which are connected, and you're just dropping the other A. The Ta, Ba, you drop one of the A. So Ka-Ta instead of Ka-Ta-Ba. You know what I mean? So that's why. And what's funny is I had the same question. I asked a brother way above my rank this question. And his answer was so simple. And I think he thought that I was asking a deeper question than what I was. And when he answered the question, I thought about it. I was like, oh, we just dropping the A. That's something I knew, because I was thinking the same thing. Where are you getting this N from by itself for Anya? You just drop the A because those two are pronounced together. So anytime you are pronouncing two characters together, you're going to you're gonna drop a and put when you put them together, so it'd be Anya. But excellent question. Excellent question. All right. My bad, Car. You can finish. But the deeper you get into the Hebrew, you'll see how important it is to modern history. And what do I say what do I mean when I say modern history? In modern history, you have artifacts and writings that are being discovered to this day that couldn't be translated without the ancient Hebrew. Like they wouldn't get anywhere without putting in the ancient Hebrew and the characters that they found to get any understanding of what the script was. And I think that's a heavy point.
Salakia Katav.
Khan.
That Tel Dan Stele that they found that has the it says House of David in the Lashawan Qadash.
Khan.
That has got to be the heaviest fucking artifact ever found.
That's like, a gut punch right there.
You know what I mean? Like, how many people say the Lashawan Qadash is made up? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that artifact cuts that argument.
Right.
And then we actually learn in the ISUPK how to read it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anybody else on earth outside the ISUPK that can look at the artifact and actually read what it says. You know what I mean? But yeah, Salagi, that artifact cold as hell.
Nah, that is an excellent point, because in 2026, those are some of the things that we need to reach some of our people, because those are heavy. I want to say that's like almost I think of that scene or that verse in the New Testament where you have everybody standing around and they'll say, well, aren't these Galatians? How are they speaking every man in their own language? And the miracle or the astonishment is because they thought that everybody from Galatia or Galilee, if I'm not mistaken, Galileans, yeah, they thought that all of those was just like ignorant. They weren't as studied, you know. They haven't traveled the world to be able to speak to me in Greek and this and that, or all of these different tongues. And in 2026, 2025, a dead or quote unquote dead language is now pretty much resurrected. And you can just say thanks to the ISUPK. Thanks to the ISUPK. All right. So as you see, the brother's doing an excellent job. You about to do the Assyrian? Oh, all right. Well, have at it, boss. So an alter. Yep. Is when that word or that character falls at the end of a word. So you got the ka. So like if you would say, how is your peace? And I believe how is your peace in Hebrew would be ma shalom ka. The ka at the end of that ma shalom ka would look like this instead of that, you know, because it fell at the end of the word. I wonder if that applies to names too. I'm sure it does. Shariwan, do you know if that applies to names too? Like if somebody's name ended with like the character Tazah, would you use the alternate ending when scripting it out? I guess you wouldn't write that shit in the Syrian anyway.
That's a good question. And as I think about when we read the scrolls, the only name I recall seeing where that happens is when we say La Yahweh, and I'm not sure what La means. I'd have to check out what prefix that is.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it next. That's the next section. La Yahweh. Just like it said, I can give you a hint. La Yashala.
Oh, two. Oh, there you
go. But some of those, some of them like could mean two or four. Like I think by might be of or in or on, so it could have two different ones. But we'll get to them.
And if I may, I would assume that we wouldn't need to say that it's he or she before a name, because if the name is feminine, we would know it's feminine, and if it was masculine, we would know it's masculine.
So that is also something that I definitely think is heavy about our language, because our language is definitely straight up and down, no affiliation with the alphabet community, and misgendering or misnomering or misidentifying anything. Like it just doesn't work like that. And everything is done in order in the language as well. So like when you look at the plurality of a thumb and a thon, they both are y'all. So if it was a group of guys, you would say, you know how we say Baraka thumb to y'all, you all. But let's say it was a group of girls and one guy, it'd be a thumb. You know what I mean? Because that masculinity takes priority, even though the women might have the majority. It's still a rank and order when it comes to the language. If I'm saying, if that makes sense. Go ahead. Anya. So it's like on, yeah, yep. So all right. Let me. I can probably put an example. I'm gonna use my name again. Khan. Mm-hmm. 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 So yeah, that's a good point. Understanding, being able to identify like the root word outside of your prepositions and your suffixes, however you pronounce it. The best way I can say it is after you start breaking down and going into the words more, that'll be the first step, because it's not gonna come out. All right. This is what I do. Oh no, you know what? It's right here. It's right here. So you see how he got this connector right here? Yeah. You won't see it when you're sitting up there reading the scroll though. So it's something that, like he was saying, you kind of gotta know, but actually characters can be important because this is how you know these two characters are pronounced together. So it's saying na. So always will drop the A off the second character regardless if these two are connected. So it'll always be off the second character. So like I was saying, if it's ka ta, this is the first character. Ta ba is the second character, and because we're reading, so, and here's another thing that might be throwing you off too. Because I'm writing the ba out in English and the ta out in English, I'm writing it this way. But technically that I would be on the other end. That A would be on the other end, like this. So ka tab, and then you drop off the A. You see that? Does that make sense a little bit? God damn. Right. Yep. So yeah, when you, and I've seen it taught that way one time, and that it kind of clicked for me too when I saw it's like, because when you're writing stuff out, you can always write the Hebrew pronunciation, and you're going this way, and but though the English is going this way, your Hebrew words are going this way. It's like you got to kind of flip it in your head. So it's almost writing backwards. Yep. Yeah. You're right. And will correct, and he's going to correct you and say, huh. Mm-hmm. I still say it. I'm probably gonna say it. Yep. It's not there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like Lashawan, he's saying, and then when you, like you said, when you know it, and then know what you're reading, because after a while, it's like, I know that Anya means I. I know the verse that I'm reading has I in it about 10 times. And it's just like, well, I know Anya is, I is pronounced Anya. I'ma just pronounce it. You know, it was low key. Shariwan corrected me on the same way. And Shariwan corrects you without you saying it in slow motion. Like here, I think it's the word. What, Salakia, Shariwan, what's the Hebrew word for priest?
Priest is kahan.
Right, kahan. Like, I kept saying, I think like Hakahan or something. I kept saying it, and then one time when he was reading his, he said Kahan, and he said it slow, and I was like, oh, damn. But hey, man, that's iron sharpening iron, you know. But yeah, like Carl was just saying, sometimes you literally you would just have to read it and kind of be corrected, like until you get into the nitty gritty of. And then you can kind of say it with English as well, because with English that's why they have English classes, because you have all of these different words that maybe sound the same but look different, sound the same, or vice versa. And then you have big words that you might have 20 different syllables, but you understand what it might mean by breaking down each part of it, like octa Well, that means 8. Gan might mean shape, or it means 8 sides, or whatever it means. So, right. hmm But yeah, practice makes perfect. But a good way to do it is just read it as you see it first, and then correction will come because there's a brother reading it with you, and me, I'm gonna let you go for a minute, and then after your second or third time, it's just like, all right. Then I might say, hey, all right, that word is pronounced such and such. And then you will start correcting yourself eventually too. You'll be like, oh, Salaki, that's such and such. And the more you do it, the more you learn it, the easier it gets.
Yes, Salagi, if I could, Katab.
God.
When I hear brothers reading, I can tell if they know the word or not. You know what I mean? And
by how confidently they pronunciate it.
Yeah. So it's like, if like sometimes, for example, because I remember Ka'ar was doing this the last class. He had Arataza down. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I can see Ka'ar knows this is earth.
Mm-hmm.
And we say it all the time in the Lord's Prayer.
Right.
So I can see he knows the word and he just pronounces it like it's nothing. And then there'll be another word like I think La Amar, he was still getting down and he spoke or to speak.
Yep. And he said,
yeah. And it was like, okay, I could see he doesn't know this word yet. So it's in my mind, I almost think there's no point correcting him on it because he's got to learn the word first. And once he sees the word and gets it, he's just gonna, he's gonna zoom through it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I think. Like a lot of brothers, they just gotta actually come to the Hebrew class and start practicing the shit. You know what I mean? Salaki.
If I may, sir, because when you had told me like most of the words are 3 characters and then you got the prepositions, I was able to pronounce a lot of them better. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm seeing the la in front, like La Yahweh.
La Yahweh.
You know what I'm saying? And now I'm seeing the thigh in front of it, or the eye or whatever. So it started to make sense, especially when you told me that.
God. The hardest point is when you start seeing like when you see a word that has like 7 characters in it.
Right.
Sometimes you'll get a little lost because you might have 2 prepositions in there.
Yep.
And you'll have 2
possessive adjectives.
You know what I mean? So, and then brothers, they'll kind of get lost. And I say this as I say it for myself. Trying to find that 3 characters within the 7 characters, you know what I mean? Sometimes it gets a little hard, especially if it's a word you're not familiar with.
All right. So from the top, again, we have Anya, Atha, Hawa'a, Haya'a. So again, Ha, Ya, Ah. Now you see how there's a double A right there. That means these 2 aren't connected when he wrote them out. Haya'a. You see how that the symbol is up and those 2 aren't connected? That's how you know that these 2 are going to be pronounced separately. Ha, wa, ah, instead of connecting them, and it's just being hawa. Right. Yep. Not nuwa, a thumb, a than, hum, and han. And then you have your Assyrian. Boy, your handwriting neat. Dang. Yeah, mine looked like chicken scratch when I was first writing it. It was all shaky a little bit. Hey, both sides crazy. All right, so what we got next is we're going to hit up the prepositions. And that's what he was just speaking on, the prepositions. And if we have time, we'll go over the possessive adjectives, and that sits at the back of the word. So preposition, preposition, it will sit in front of your root word. Kind of. How do I? Yeah, let's find out. By the way it sounds, ha, I'm gonna just wob. So that, and then you said gabar, right? So gabar. So that means no. What does hadawab mean? Oh, you gotta put it in the chat, brother. Teach me a word. Put it in the chat. But in Hebrew, you got ha, do, wab. Your wa and your ba is connected, and gabar. I guess I should have wrote that over here. You cool? Screenshot that, get that down. Bear warrior. So hadawab means warrior. I mean bear. Okay. I think gabar definitely means warrior. That sounds familiar. Preposition, pre-position. Yeah, shout out to the Isupk, the generals, starting with Commander Junior Hunter down. And I think it's definitely spiritual when you get your name. No question about it. Because when you get these names out here, a lot of the times it has no feeling. You know, you got girls who's being named Portia and Lexus and Mercedes. And now we're actually back to naming our children something that means something, something that has something that they can look forward to or live up to, earn, everything in between. So, Most High in Christ. All right, so your prepositions are I'm stay capital. I'm dyslexic half the time. All right, so your prepositions are a, ba, da, ha, wa, ya, ka, la, ma, sha, and tha. What do those mean in order or in the understanding of a preposition. So I or am. Do. Shariwan, I got a question for you.
Counsel.
All right, so I know I asked you this before. What does the Shah mean, if you remember? And the only reason I'm asking you is because in my notes I have it two different meanings.
Counsel, Slug, I have to grab my notes real quick.
All right, take your time.
Okay.
So, go ahead. Yep, in or my fault, or on or with. Yep. Or on or with. So it can mean with too. So not on with, but just or again, in, on, or with. Yep. Yep. Yeah, well, it's 8:15. Yeah, we're probably in the class here after we go over some examples.
Okay, Salakia, sir.
Time.
Okay, Shah means whom, which, that, or pertaining to.
Yep. So that's what I had, which are pertaining to. So what was the first two aspects of it?
Whom, which,
whom, which,
that, or pertaining to.
Pertaining to the water. All right. So as you see, these are before a preposition sits before a root word. So when I give you the examples, it's going to start making a little bit more sense. It's going to start making a little bit more sense. But just to pronounce them out, just because there are prepositions, the pronunciation of them doesn't change. Most High in Christ. It's still Abadaha Wayaka Lama Shatha. Now, what does that mean? In pertaining to a word, I'm going to go to one that's very, very familiar. And we're going to use two. These two. So what Shariwan was saying, that sometimes you'll have a long word and sometimes it'll be two words connected or two prepositions for that one word. An example of that would be
Salagi is that.
Ya Dabar. So in the Hebrew, you would see Wa Ya That's what you would see. You might not see these if you're reading the script, but that's what you will see. Wa Ya Dabar. The preposition and wa, ya, he, dabar is your root word for spake or spoke or said. Spake, spoke, said. So we have that example of two prepositions used on one root word. The preposition and, the preposition he, waya, dabar. And he said, and he spoke. See if I can get another one.
Yeah, Salagi, sir.
Khan.
And that's always there because the Most High is always
right.
Yeah,
right. You're gonna see when you going through Genesis and Exodus, you're gonna see why y'all the bar a lot. The Most High is always talking that, in a good way. I don't want nobody clipping that, trying to make sure I was saying that the Most High talk shit, but he do though. But he. So here's another word, ha-arataza. Ha-arataza. So writing that out in the Hebrew, you got your a-ra-taza. And actually, all of these are pronounced separately. So that's why you will see the double A, ha-a-rataza, instead of just ha. So, and then that actually helped you better pronunciate or correctly pronunciate it. When you see and know that it's a preposition, you can pronunciate it with a pause and just say ha-arataza. Or you can just say it fast, ha-arataza. But sometimes in the understanding or when you're trying to teach somebody, you would probably say ha-arataza. So they get that I'm saying the earth. So this will be the and arataza, earth. Give you a second to get that one done. Right. You know what? Since he said pertaining to, I think we got to do Shah. Khan. Most High in Christ. I can. What's his name? Shalak Ya'ala. So, boy, so see, this is putting me to work. Shalak.
Put the meaning in your name in the chat as well, Shalak.
Yeah.
Baba
Shalak. Because when you said lock, that kind of reminds me of the ha and not the ka. So, all right. So it'd be sha la. Yeah. So sha la ya Allah. Now in the Assyrian, what is the lie in Assyrian? That weird looking one. Yep, I did that right. Oh, it was close. It was close. I said the same thing. I said the same thing. I don't think it look all weird.
But Shalakia, like, I said the same thing. I ain't want to learn to see it, but I saw it be so helpful when we were missing verses
Right.
of the Torah,
Yep.
the ancient Hebrew, and not Shayuan, who know the Assyrian,
Uh-huh.
put up the blue letter Bible and can read the Assyrian. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely helpful.
Unfortunately, majority of the script that you're going to find out there, if you go get any Hebrew book, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be, you're going to see the modern script. So you don't have to learning their vowels and stuff like that, but you'll still pronunciate the characters the same. It's just this funny looking stuff down here. Like if I look at this, I would think a kid just was, you know what I mean? Like that don't look like it's supposed to be writing, but yeah, I think this is Shalakia Allah. That's your name. Sorry if my penmanship isn't the best.
And the brother names mean weapon of the Lord.
Weapon of the Lord. So Ya Allah. The La, 2 or 4 of Ya. So YAH will be the Lord, and Salak would be weapon. There will have to be.
Yeah. I believe that Shayawan just put it in the chat. Shalak meaning weapon, missile.
Missile?
Yeah, weapon, missile.
Uh-oh.
Dart. I believe, right?
Most High in Christ. We got some intercontinental ballistic missiles in the UPK. This brother about to go over to a whole nother, blow some shit up and take it over. All right, let's get a couple more. Let's see. What's a preposition for? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. And to tell you the truth, sounding it out is so much easier. Like, it'd be hard for me to sound out a crazy ass English word, but to sound out a Hebrew name, knowing the how basic Abag, it's like it's not that. I feel like I can call your son up here and say, this is I, this is Ba, this is Da. And if he says Abba Da, he just spoke Hebrew. I'm pretty sure he can say Abanawa. You know. Bereshith. That's the one I want. Bereshith. So how was that written? All right, so that was a lot. So it's this guy named Pastor Tony Smith. I think he pronounced it Bereshith. But it's Barashath, Baraash. Yeah, Baraashyaf. Which means in so one of the things that you see that second, that Ra and that Ah are pronounced separately. So you have your Ba, Ra, Ah, and then you have your Sha and your Ya technically together. No. Your Ah and your Sha is together. And then you have your Yath. Baraash Yath. Okay. Khan, go ahead. The brother is asking a great question. It's a very good question. And there's going to be two answers for it. Well, really one answer for it. And that might come in a class 2 times. So I'm going to answer the question now, but I'll probably have to do a whole class on it. And I've done it before. And it's going to be identifying what the root word is. So just if you go to, and I might hold it up to the camera, or I might hold it up, or we can probably share screen if it's that important. So if you go to interlinear, you go to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. Oh, that brother over there pulling it up. Most High in Christ. It's a feature on there that when I say it's pretty dope, I mean, it's pretty dope. You said you don't know how to use. Oh yeah. Just go to search. Just type in Genesis 1:1, yeah. And I'll show you on my phone. But that is an excellent question. Can you see the? Oh no, he can't see the TV from there. All right, you're gonna have to just for a second. All right, can I see that? There you go. So this little section right here helps. This is your root word right here. All of that. And that means the beginning. And this is just your preposition. So Ra'ashyath means the beginning. That Ra doesn't necessarily mean the, and it's not a preposition. The ba is the only preposition. But because you're paying attention, that lets me know you're grasping it, because you looked at that as like, oh, why is the Ra the and the ha is the? But no, Ra'ashias just means the beginning. or I should have just wrote the beginning up here. So that's why I said that could be in a whole nother class to show how to identify what the root word would be. So this will be your root word, and this will be your preposition. Ba in Ra'ashiath means the beginning. So, but yeah, excellent question. Excellent question. But so I mean, it's like the more. And that's why the Blue Letter Bible app is a good app to have. Just download it on your phone. No, it's free. It's free. It's free to the mug. They'll ask you every month for a donation from time to time. And just be like, hell no. They don't donate to the hood. But they have that feature, so when you can click on that Hebrew parsing feature, it most of the time I haven't seen it be off where it didn't have the prepositions and the suffixes kind of highlighted or separated. So I mean, it's a good tool. So in the beginning, da, let's see if I can find one for da. And then we can give a matter of fact. Do I have time to go through? No, I don't. Because, yeah, I don't have time. I ain't gonna try. So Shemayim, that's the one I wanted to do. And I think this is interesting. I don't know how I'm going to explain it. But I'm going to try. Shemayim. Shemayim. So that word technically means heavens. But the interesting part of, I guess, understanding that word is what part means heaven? I guess if you, we're going to write that up here. Heaven. Because when we looked at the preposition shah, it can mean whom, which, that, or pertaining to. So this is your shah. That means this, if this is your preposition, this is your root word. This by itself, who knows what mayam means? Mayam, if I'm not mistaken, means waters. Yum gives it that plurality of it, waters. So mayam, waters. You put shah, now you have heaven. So then somebody might ask me the question, well, how is that a preposition and why does that change the meaning? And it doesn't necessarily change the meaning when you understand something that's kind of scientific. So there's water up there. So when it talks about mayam, waters, what kind of waters are you referring to? Are you talking about the waters that's in the ocean, that's on the ground down here, or are you talking about the waters up there? So then, if you're talking about up there, then you're talking about a whole different, I guess, word, which now is heaven instead of waters. So I don't know if you remember, it was this movie that was called Gods of Egypt. When that one dude went up to see his father Ra, he was on the boat. He was like, "Can I have some of your waters?" And then you go up to space today, they tell you that there's water in the air. There's water up there. I believe it. I definitely believe it. And then I can kind of see it biblically. So, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and I'm going to actually do some, I guess, a word study on that and see if I can get a better understanding so I could explain it better. That'll help too, because sometimes when you explain, you get a better understanding, you can explain it better. Because sometimes in my head, shit be making sense, and then sometimes when I say it out loud, people be looking at me like, "Boy, that don't make no sense." So, yeah. And then, all right, we're gonna do a couple more. So you got La, and you know how like when we do in the Sabbath service, and you hold up the chalice, and you salute La Yashala, which means to Israel. Yeah. When you have matter of fact, there's a one prayer that you have so many of them in there. Matter of fact, let me look at it real quick. What is? Man, that look real. That's a homeschooling academy. And I got interested. Let me see something. All right, so like when you think about the Hakak, the power prayer, when in it you will see Matzazarayim, Hakach, Lahakwayim, Hamathium, Hakach. And when you coordinate that with what it's translated, it's going to say to cleanse the leopards, the power to raise the dead, the power again. So that to, and all of those are going to be prepositions that you're going to constantly see, you know. And then eventually you'll be able to say, well, that means if I say La Tahar, or La Rapa'ah, you know that La is going to be that preposition because you didn't set it. So you might say La Rapa'ah, and that brother might catch it then, like, so that La is the preposition, the Rapa'ah is the root word to heal. So La, to, Rapa'ah, heal, you know. So all right, with that being said, y'all got any questions? I don't really want to get into the next section because I'm not going to be able to finish it by 9 o'clock. So see what the chat talking about. What y'all been doing this past month? Damn, man. This picture is hardcore.
If you got time, sir.
Another
brother, he got the officer's test.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe go over the names in it, the tribe names or the nation names.
As in like writing it out, or yeah, because he gonna have to write the boys out.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably gonna have to do a class on that.
God.
Yeah. So yeah, next week, that's gonna be the second part. I'll finish up the possessive adjectives, which will be the third part of this, and then we'll get right into the nations. Yep. The 2 tribes of Israel. And you know what? That even in just the names of the nation of Israel, you will learn a lot, you know. So yeah. Anything else y'all want me to go over? I can start putting that on for next week. I can start preparing that for next week. You help me with the class? You want to for real? You want to right now? You want to come up here and help me right now? Come on. Come on. So let's go see this. Well, all right, so I'm gonna write a word. We're gonna see if you can get it. And I'm gonna walk with you. Oh, now my pen drying up. See what the Christians used to say: the devil is a lie. Here we go. Can you say I? By Most High Christ. Na. Why? I, ba, na, wa.
Ba, na, wa.
I'm going to try to say it all together.
Abba,
Okay. We're going to try it one more time.
Tafta. Ada.
Now.
Nawa.
Most High Christ. Most High Christ. You see how easy learning our language is? This boy perfectly pronounced Abanawa. Abanawa. How old are you? 4? Dang. And you speaking Hebrew already? You said you're going to be this many? Okay. Most High in Christ. All right. Get his brother a hand again. Now, all y'all grown men out there, I'm letting y'all know we had a 4-year-old get up here and speak Hebrew. But Abanawa in the Hebrew means our father. So Abba means father. Noah, when we get into those possessive adjectives, means our. So our father. Abba Noah, or Abba Nawa. All right, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close this class. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat, I imagine Barak, Yahaba Hashem Yahweh Barakathum, Yajmatah, dismiss.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West.